first things first. Dirty Prescott Kids, Travis, DPK, the man, the myth, the legend. I want to start it right at square one with all the current events going on around TikTok. I just saw your recent video that you did on YouTube talking about the TikTok ban.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy because it's like, obviously it was a massive springboard for your career. It was how we met you. There's just so much surrounding that platform. You have over 600,000 followers on it. Like, give us a peek into what your thoughts are on this whole thing.
Well, obviously, right after RIP, I don't want the app to disappear. Like some people seem to, well, I never got on TikTok, so it's fine if it goes. I'm like, it's not just about the fact that I have this following. There's so many people, like you said, that you've met because of it. I've seen all these people. I know, I understand the scope of how many people will lose what they have if that goes. I actually have a little bit of an out, I guess, because people are going and streaming my music and following elsewhere. So, like, I could keep it rolling. You know, the show goes on no matter what, but there's some people that is the only platform they use, whether they're, you know, small business on there or singer, whatever. You have to build a platform, as you guys know, and the thought of losing it because of whatever reasoning they've gave thus far, I don't agree with it, and I signed every dang petition and got in every video I could to, like, say that I stand with TikTok, or not really with TikTok, but the people that make TikTok awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. My first initial thoughts is like, well, who cares? There's 100 other platforms. But then I started really thinking about it over the course of like that whole week where it was a really hot topic. And I'm like, dang, like as far as a channel monetization standpoint, we've made more money on TikTok than any other platform. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I think it's even more than every other platform combined.
Oh, dang.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like the way that TikTok gives you the ability to monetize 1 minute videos and longer is better than so many other platforms, especially for these people who don't have these millions of followers.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is that it's one of the only platforms that allows you to reach a ton of people with no following.
Yeah, it gives you at least the fair shake to attempt to reach the people. You know, like the other platforms like don't even let you in the door. Like you have to have those following to even get a video out there. Where TikTok, you see random stars rise all the time.
Yeah,
some burn out quick, but it's like
a lot of people that rise on other platforms probably springboarded off of their TikTok career to start with. So it's just like even if you are famous on any other platform, if you started on TikTok, you still need to owe all that credit to TikTok. Like dude, when I saw it, and like luckily we weren't like super like you're always into it, but I was kind of checked out because we hadn't shot in so long. But immediately I was like, thank God that we're not like single suited and shoved into this corner and just TikTok,
one.
It's like,
well, that was a big part of why we structure our videos the way we do, is like make it so that we can use it for multiple platforms because of a situation like this. Like I don't want someone that has the ability to take this out without my control, without my say, even if I don't want it to happen, completely take it off.
Yeah.
And now not only do we lose all those videos, because like it's impossible to save everything that you're posting.
Yeah.
So part of it almost acts as like a gallery, a portfolio, like a history of what you've accomplished, what you've done. But then on top of that, it's like you have absolutely no say, and they can directly impact the amount of money that you make by just taking this off of the App Store. And that blows my mind.
And like I will say like even up to the point that it happened, I didn't understand like the scope of like, I thought the most probable scenario was going to be that you continue to use it and it basically like doesn't update and it kills itself like over time.
Yep.
We were live. It was like almost apocalyptic. We were literally live because we knew it was like possibly the last night. And mid talking, it just popped up and people were sending us screenshots where like the screen, the thing was right over our faces being like, this app is axed from the App Store. And then it was like, but these people can still hear us. And then it was like 5 seconds later, nope, not even that. Like you're off of here. And then you realize that you can't look up any other videos. You can't even use the app. I can't even now go to my old videos or nothing. So if you didn't grab anything, let's say that was just the end and it never came back, I would never have been able to go recover nothing. And I was like, I just didn't imagine it going down like that, knowing they can just pull the plug at an instant. I'm going to go deep with this right away. I read a book one time called it's like 9 seconds after or something, right? And it's about like an EMP blast. And they talk about how people don't really realize like how quick, like the second your communication's gone, it's gone, and you will start to panic. And it's felt slightly like that when it went away, and you can't use it, you can't access your messages, nothing. And I was like, that is how quick they can pull just communication in general.
Yeah.
Everything.
It was crazy.
Everything.
Dude.
The whole internet goes down. It is like TikTok's a metaphor, and it just boom, you can't use this anymore. People are like, what are we supposed to do? And that just felt bigger than just the TikTok thing.
Yeah, I was watching UFC with a bunch of my buddies, and we were talking like, "Oh, TikTok's going away. Is it really gonna happen?" And then one of my buddy's girlfriend goes to go on it, and the message comes up, and we were all like, "What the fuck?" Like it all got real so quick, and like I felt different than Mitch. I was kind of sitting there sulking, like it didn't hit me till that moment, like we just lost our biggest platform. Like that's our most amount of followers, and they are gone. And then
I thought about that
day,
too. I was just thinking, I was trying to stay in the positive realm of like, thank God we're not only on TikTok.
Dude, I was down in the
At
depths.
the same time, I was like, wow, that was like big video wise, that's what we have.
Yeah.
You know, like anything that has any really substantial viewership is all kind of on our TikTok.
Well, we have other videos like on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook that all have a lot more views, but consistently over 1 million. I think TikTok has the most amount of views across all the videos. But we have a few breakout videos on all the other platforms. But that was one thing that I thought about right away. I was like, dang, thinking back, there's definitely like one-off videos that we only did on TikTok. And are those gone? I can't go on it. I can't save those. I didn't save those.
Yeah, how do you get them back?
They're not on my hard drive anymore. They were just quick TikToks that I literally filmed on my phone. I can't get any of those back now. That's crazy.
I have like a lot of them saved, but like I would guess like 4,000 pieces of content on there. Like it would be crazy to try to take them all off there. Most of them not even worth it because that's how TikTok works. Like YouTube is so polished. Instagram is definitely like almost like polished to a flaw, like fake polished. TikTok, you have pieces of content, like you said, you're just pulling your phone out, saying some stuff. It's not always these like banger videos,
right?
And those videos can do 200,000. Like it's just not even created equal on any other app of the organic platform of like regular type people that you can meet on there. And I don't know. I found like a really cool community of people on there, and I don't get the same response anywhere else. And those people still use those apps. It's crazy. I'm like, why? Like, for instance, why do I have 690,000 on TikTok and 10,000 on YouTube? No matter what I post on there, like it doesn't go to a certain place.
Yeah, you could post the exact same thing, mirror image with both, and it would be the same way.
Yeah. I would take 10% of the TikTok if I could, but it's like converting them is just different. But TikTok has a different, I don't know.
It's a different context. People use every platform differently, and it's becoming more and more popular to structure your content differently for each platform because people interact with content differently on every different platform.
Yeah.
YouTube, for example, I just read a statistic that was saying that on connected TVs at home, YouTube is now the most used streaming service. So more than Netflix,
the most used one in my house.
More than Hulu, more than Disney Plus. I mean, more than all these, which is crazy. So people now are more than ever sitting down and like watching YouTube. I know I am.
I do too.
I have YouTube Premium, and it's cheaper to pay for that than it is for all these other streaming services.
Me and Sam were just talking. We went and got lunch before we came in here, and we were talking about how differently we watch YouTube compared to any other like platform.
Yeah.
Like there's YouTube Shorts. I'm not going on YouTube Shorts. I'm going on TikTok
either.
if I want to watch that. YouTube, I'm watching like Outdoor Boys. I'm watching like Good Mythical Morning, like sitting down and watching like a 45-minute video.
The closest thing for
completely
me,
different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the closest thing for me to TikTok is Instagram Reels, but it's a totally different environment. Like I expect different videos on my Instagram feed versus TikTok, you know?
I like it when people comment on the TikToks, though. They're like, this For You page was built brick by brick. It's like Instagram, like it throws you what it wants.
Yeah.
You do feel like you played a role in your TikTok algorithm.
yeah.
Like you're like, oh, I know why these wrestling videos are popped up because I started liking all those Rey Mysterio videos.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so if, let's say TikTok never comes back. Let's say it's down right now. What's your first move from like a strategy perspective?
Well, the I guess my first move now is going to be YouTube because I wanted that to build anyways, and I knew I was paying less attention to it than I should be. One kid that I don't necessarily love his advice, but he told me one time, I knew it was true when he said it to me. He was like, hey, why you think you're not growing on YouTube as fast as TikTok? And I gave him some spiel, and he's like, well, I'm thinking it's because you put all your effort into TikTok. You post 3-4 videos a day. You're always trying to get better at it, but like you'll post one a month on YouTube. And I was like, yeah.
I mean,
I don't water it.
You're right, but fuck you.
I don't water it the way that I should.
Yeah.
But that whole time I started to notice all these people were saying like, we don't want to go back to Facebook. We don't want to go back to Instagram. And this is the first time I noticed where I was like, we're not all using them all at the same time, like simultaneously. And so that's when I realized that a lot of people only use like TikTok or only use YouTube. I've been posting my shit across all social media for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I still got those other platforms to lean on. So the next move is just post it elsewhere. But I really do hate the idea of like putting all this effort into that for 4 years for it to disappear for like just like a weird reason that like a good chunk of people don't even agree with. Like it's not even like, oh, I get it. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like
it's weird. It's been obviously turned into a weird political debate, but like is the biggest debate is that they're stealing your information. All the information is going to China. I'm like, dude, you don't think they have that from every other platform?
Yeah, for sure.
You're stupid to think that that's not the case across everything.
And when they were questioning the CEO, these old fucking fucktards can't even feel their farts. Like, dude, their questions were pathetic. It was like,
they're so old.
Does TikTok use Wi-Fi? And then he'd be like, yes, it's a Wi-Fi
Does
platform.
it tap into the Wi-Fi network in your house? If you're connected
does.
to your fucking Wi-Fi, then yes.
And he's looking at him like, gotcha, fucker.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember those hearings. I was like, why are these the guys asking the questions?
Honestly, dude, I think the craziest argument is when people are worried about it and like they say like, oh, TikTok's sending all your information to China. I'm like, motherfucker, nobody cares about your information. Like, they can have your fucking social security number. They can't do a fucking thing to you. You don't have shit to take.
It is who cares about this is the people that are not getting the money from TikTok and who are not getting the information from TikTok. You know, they can get it from all these American companies.
Yeah.
But I think also it's like some of these guys probably don't want TikTok getting their data because they probably got some skeletons in their closet.
Oh, for sure.
These guys, these old politicians, you can't tell me they did some shady stuff to get there.
Dude, the funniest thing, Caroline brought this to my attention. She said, you know, I didn't plan on seeing people air themselves out like this, but a lot of old men seem to take to Facebook saying, TikTok's nothing but a bunch of girls shaking their asses. And you're not admitting that it's a brick by brick platform. It's not just feeding you that, you know? And it was like, dude, if X-rated stuff seems to be popping up, it's based off of what you're watching. You think you don't interact with it. It knows that you stopped. It knows that you watched it for 3 seconds. It knows all this. So, you know, as someone that, like I said, I put 4,000 videos on there. So when a person says to me, hey, I heard that China's going to have all your information. I'm like, I literally had videos with millions of millions of views with my damn trailer address in the background. Like, it's like, I've given away information down to my location. It's not, I'm clearly not worried about it. And a lot of people aren't. It's like, if you're ordering stuff on Amazon and Temu and all these things, you're well aware that now your information's kind of floating around the internet. It's kind of just, hopefully it doesn't affect me.
Dude, I mean, you do something as simple as buy a house and you have a million scammers trying to reach out to you all the time. They're sending you letters. They're calling you. Your information is out there regardless.
Yeah.
And
it's always from Americans.
Dude, think about all the fucking, every new truck in the world, you can go on your phone and track your truck 24 hours a day. You think Chevy can't track your truck? If you can, you think they fucking can't? Are you an idiot? Right. I can start my truck from the other side of the world.
Yeah.
They know where you are, dude. If they wanted to do something with your information, they'd have done it already.
I just saw this thing about the Ford Mach-E, the electric Mustang. They can, if you finance it through Ford, they can shut it down if you don't make your payment.
Oh my God.
And you can't tell me in the future that isn't going to be like, oh, you didn't make your payment. It's driving itself back to the place you bought it from.
For sure,
you know? Like, what?
Somebody warned you about that a long time ago and they thought you were dumb. You know, like these computers in the car, they're going to start giving you tickets. And that's like, it pretty much is.
Well, that's all your insurance is on your car.
Oh, yeah. My insurance fluctuates
if he drives too fast.
Oh, my God.
It fluctuates based on if you drive too late at night, if you don't drive buckled, if you drive too close to people, if you accelerate too fast, if you brake too hard. Okay, for people listening, my son is in the back room in a little jumper right now, so he's screaming. He's having a great time.
It's not the girl Mitch kidnapped. It's Cody's son. Everyone can relax.
Yeah, that one you couldn't hear before. This is my kid in the other room. If you're hearing some kids screaming, he's loving DPK. He's just staring at him.
They don't all smile like that when they're looking at me. Usually it's suspicious, kind of like, who's this?
Yeah, right.
He's been smiling at me the whole time.
No, but I think going back to like having all your eggs in one basket with like being solely invested in TikTok, I think we're going to start to see more and more people realize like, oh, we can get just shut down now. So you're going to see a lot, I think, more platforms pop up. And then also we're getting into this era of like micro communities where not everyone gets fed the same stuff. So like what's popular to a certain group of people, I won't even hear about.
Yeah.
You know, like my little brother will bring up things that's like, did you see this video?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, you don't even know so-and-so? I'm like, no, dude, I have never heard that name. Like, no way. He clicks on his channel. He's got like 100 million subscribers. Like, how have I never heard of this guy?
I was just showing Sam a guy like that at lunch too. I was showing him like one of these TikToks. He's like, I can't believe I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
It's got, 15 million likes. In my head, I just assume that everyone sees it, but it's just not the way it works.
Yeah, I do it all the time to people. I will show them as if they should know. Like, dude, is it viral all the time? And they're like, not to me.
And it like pisses me off. It's like, how do you not know this?
Or like you make a reference to it and nobody gets it. And they just like, don't laugh. You're like, fuck, I thought that was kind of a good joke.
Yeah, see, that's what ruins like the monoculture, where it's like we don't have like a Step Brothers, for example. Like you can't tell me anyone in all of our generation that can't quote something from Step Brothers. Yeah. Like my little brother's generation doesn't have that like Step Brothers moment like that they all kind of share. Yeah, and that's crazy to me. That you can't tell me that's not going to create some sort of a weird cultural thing, you know?
Well, and for your brother, his age, they've never had a comedy movie, a cult classic comedy movie drop that everybody loves. Like for you, you were saying Step Brothers, super bad. Like there's so many bangers, and there's just nothing you can hold your hat on since fucking the 2010s. You know?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Cameron's freaking out in the other room. He's happy. These are happy cries. I don't want people to think he's being neglected. I got a straight line of sight. He's got 100 toys
like he's
in front
having
of him.
A good time.
He's got 100 toys. The guy's living his best life right now.
Dude, one thing that I've been obsessed with lately is I don't even know how to explain this, because Bryce Mitchell, the UFC fighter, has managed to ruin his career in one podcast episode. Do you follow UFC at all?
Yeah.
You know about this Bryce Mitchell thing?
I only know, I don't know is it a new thing?
Yeah, like within the last week.
I haven't heard of this.
So Bryce Mitchell, for people that don't know who he is, he's very country. He wears camo shorts in
Arkansas,
the octagon.
Right?
Like, he's like, hell yeah, we're going to fucking kick this white boy's ass.
Yeah.
You know? And he is a white boy, so it gets confusing.
If you're going to read the quote, because I know you have the quote typed out, you need to read it as if you are Bryce Mitchell, because it makes it way better.
And it's tough. I might not hit his way. He says things a little bit too country for me, but I'm going to give it my best shot. This is how Bryce Mitchell came out in his first podcast episode. I honestly think Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education. I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with. He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out that were destroying his country and turning them into gays.
Oh,
that is a direct quote from Bryce
It's a real
Mitchell.
actual fucking quote. Like, this is the craziest podcast clip I've seen in my whole fucking life. And dude, and Dana White ripped him in half about it.
Oh, dude.
He's probably the stupidest guy I've ever met in my life. He's like, I can't believe he even thought about it. He was like, that was a good idea to say, let alone to post it online.
That is insane to me. What a crazy take.
He goes off for like 2 minutes about it, how he thinks Hitler's a good dude, and like the Jews were bringing in the gays, and the gays were ruining his country, and that's why he did what he did. And I'm like, we're not justifying what he did. There's no way that you can ever get away with that.
I think regardless, okay, this brings me back to my marketing brain. Says all press is good press. I think his next fight will be one of the highest viewed fights in a while for him. And I think everyone will be rooting for him to lose.
So I love that you say that because Dana literally said, he said this because people were upset because he wasn't going to suspend him or anything. Dana said, everything he said is fucked up. I'm against it, but it's free speech. I'm not going to suspend him. But here's the beauty of this business is you get to watch him get his fucking ass kicked on live TV in front of millions of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you don't like him, this is the best sport to not like a guy.
Yeah. You can watch him lose his next fight or possibly have a huge upset and he wins. And then people are going to be more upset. And then, I mean, honestly, he's just going to get more publicity out of this.
Everyone, you need heels, all right, in every industry. And I don't remember Chael Sonnen, like, I don't remember who his podcast he's on. It might have been a Rogan episode where they were talking about how he basically just played a character his entire career. He's like, I wanted everyone to hate me. You need that. Someone has to do it. You can't just it can't just be two good guys punching each other in the face. Who the fuck cares about that?
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I think they The Rock, they said, his career wasn't doing anything at all substantially until he became a heel.
Yeah.
Like he kind of reverse Uno'd on the people and became that people kind of wanted to see him lose, but he was kind of building himself up. Like if you imagine taking those away from like pro wrestling, it would have been boring as shit without the guy that Kurt Angle. I always remember him back in the day. They had like a dun 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 dun, and it was supposed to be like all USA, but people just yelled, "You suck, you suck," and like the guy was doing nothing wrong but trying to be patriotic about his wrestling background, and people just hate him alive.
Yeah. Oh. Speaking of public heels right now. Mitch was really okay with this, but a lot of people were saying that they weren't.
It's going to be something crazy.
What do you think of Elon doing the whole salute thing on stage?
I missed the part when he did it. When he did it, I think the average person would know to like maybe try not to do anything, slightly that resembles that. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way everything you'd see him doing leading up to that he would just choose this like monumental moment to decide like this is where I show. Or maybe you do like I'm waiting for the big Uno, like no. But when he did that and then they ran with it, it just showed me that they're playing the same cards they were playing before. They'll take any scenario and just run with it. Like this guy's a Nazi. I'm like, God, the Nazi thing.
Yeah, even if he wasn't, I get what you're saying. Like even if he was a Nazi, I don't think that's how he'd like publicly display it.
Right. This is the moment.
That's kind of a behind closed doors thing. If you're gonna be a Nazi, I probably wouldn't promote it.
Dude, speaking of platforms taking things down, we've said Nazi like 7 times in this episode. Do you think this is gonna get taken down?
You think so?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Talk about Nazis.
Maybe you can.
I don't know, man. Bryce Mitchell went pretty viral. He was speaking pretty positively about it.
That's
he stole that idea from Kanye. You can't just give it to Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, good point.
But that's not the first time he did it. To answer your question, I did not know that happened. But not that long ago, he was kind of revered as like, he said something like, I will fight for this country in Arkansas. Like, I will fight to the death. If it goes down that way outside of fighting, like, and then like proceeded to like the next UFC, he got like knocked out cold. So like, to be like, that's how that industry works is like, you could be everybody's like, this guy might be our guy. Like might be America's guy. Nope. They just got completely pancaked. It ain't him. And they had to wake him up from the knockout. So it already wasn't going very hot for him.
In that,
I forgot who he fought, but he came out of nowhere. Like he took the fight late. It wasn't that long ago, maybe a year ago. He took the fight late and he's like announced it, like everybody show up to watch me knock this dude out, and then just.
Dude, that's got to be such a tough sport to be in, where like you can be at the absolute top. One fight, you get caught one time, and your career can derail from that fucking.
That's what happened to Chuck Liddell, dude. Chuck Liddell was at the top until he got knocked out, and then it was just like knockout, and just like derailed his whole
something
career.
Happens to those guys too.
Yeah.
The crazy part is like all these guys are peak physical fitness. Like anyone can win. All it takes is just one guy doing something off and the other one catching it, and that's it.
That's what Rogan talks about that all the time. How guys have like an internal switch, and once it gets flipped once, you're not the same anymore.
Yeah, because the chin, like they say, like the receptors in the chin, like once you've been knocked out, it's easier for you to get knocked out.
Yeah.
Where Chuck Liddell, he probably got a bunch of micro concussions. You know, never underestimate the Iceman. Like, that guy was the dog.
He was the shit.
But he went so long, with probably just, you know, the fights he won, he got beat up. And then all of a sudden, he's fighting these. I remember one of the first ones I saw where he went down hard was Rashad Evans, tail end of me being in high school. And he hit him with the overhand right and just buckled him. To see the legend go down like that, you're like sad. But Rashad went on to win like a bunch of fights after that. He was the guy, like not Chuck no more. You kind of got to knock the guy out to show him who's coming next. And
it's like when the younger lion kills the head of the pride.
That's
you know?
one thing I feel
sad, but you got to have it.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, you know, they have so much pride. Their life is into this. Maybe they even have a few more fights on their contract. But I would love to just see some of these legends retire on top. Like, I feel like you have to watch them get their ass kicked by a dude who you would have thought they'd have beat the shit out of 2 years ago, and then they finally call it after a loss.
That's why I'm really, really hoping that John Jones doesn't push it. Like, just
me too,
dude. Just stop.
100%.
Like, we had enough. We lived in the glory days. We saw it happen. You killed everyone you touched. If I said John Jones get knocked out, it ruins his image of me forever.
Well, that was kind of
completely ruin everything.
That's
please don't get knocked out.
The Mike Tyson. Are you gonna bring up the Mike
Yes,
Tyson
that's
thing?
exactly
I was
what
just gonna say. That's exactly, dude. Mike
that
Tyson
was
just
sad,
quit
dude.
fucking punching people, Mike. It's cool. It's cool. Stop, please. If I see you get beat up one more time, dude, I can't do it.
Mike, though, the difference I saw in Mike, I don't think he had that dog in him when he went out there. Like, his soul doesn't even want to fight people no more.
He's fucking 60, dude.
He's a nice guy.
He's nice. He's happy. He's like
Yeah.
at peace. Where like when you're young and you want to just knock somebody's head off, that goes away. It goes away for everybody unless you like somehow keep that chip on your shoulder. So John Jones is like half the age, you know, or give or take, of Mike Tyson. If he came out 30 years from now and wanted to fight, I would hope he didn't do it either. I didn't want Mike to do that.
Right.
No, it
was
was
like,
heartbreaking, dude.
don't fight.
Especially to that little fucking shit blonde motherfucker.
Yeah, you don't. My problem with it is like you don't stand to gain anything, you know. Like no one's gonna think you're better because you beat up Jake Paul. Nobody gives a fuck about Jake Paul.
Right.
You
got that
king
money,
for
though.
so long.
Oh,
Yeah, he
dude.
got the money, but like,
Yeah.
is that what he cares about? Mike fucking Tyson, you know.
There was speculation that was for the fam. Like they said, like I might have burnt up some of my funds doing things that I did. I can get a big enough bag off of this to change my family's life forever. And it doesn't matter if I win or I lose.
Well, then I'm all
I do
for it.
respect that.
Like a sacrificial.
Yeah, like he kind of like went out.
Dude, it's just
Once
screaming.
you actually seen him out there moving, you kind of realize that you were kind of dumb for believing. Like,
Oh,
you
his
saw some of the
legs
training
were-
videos, but when you seen him going against like how old is Jake? 25?
Yeah, I think
don't
26.
know.
I think he's 1 year older than me.
Even if you weren't Jake Paul, right? You're 25. Like the 25-year-old body, it just affected different. It moves different. It springs.
28. He's 28.
28, dude. We're still slaying at 28, dude. Like, if anything, you're hitting that peak, dude. Like,
Yeah.
we were just talking to some of my friends were talking about this. We were like how somehow people think that like you would be in like peak physical performance in high school because that's the last time a lot of people play sports. But I was like, dude, it starts hitting, assuming you stay into it, way after that. Your body doesn't even develop till after high school.
Yeah, no, I absolutely hit my peak fitness in high school.
Hey, maybe true for you, Sam, but you know.
hey, and there's still time, baby. I'm only 25. I might.
Exactly.
I'm holding out. 28 is gonna be my year, but I'm just.
He's going to be fighting Jake Paul at 28.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Fuck
You
yeah,
got
dude.
3 years to get in this shape. This is content. This is good for you. This is good for TV.
Yes. Yes, it is.
You schedule a fight. I don't know who I'm fighting, but I'm fighting someone
Sam
in 3 years.
overcame his OnlyFans subscriptions. You can
I
overcome
did.
anything.
That is true.
What does that mean?
He weaned
I
himself
quit,
off the
I
OF.
quit OnlyFans.
You just like you started getting rid of the people you were subscribing to.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't a creator, but
I didn't know how to take it.
I did. I weaned myself off. But hey, Jake Paul, I challenge you to a fight in 2028, baby.
When we were talking about TikTok going away, we started reminiscing of the different phases of TikTok. Like there's these little windows of time when certain people you saw all the time, then they disappear. One of them was in the beginning, and I had to look him up. And it's so funny because I thought he was gone, and he's not gone. He's still there, still doing the same fucking content. But there was this kid that would be like eating chicken wings, and he's like, he's always messy with it. He's like, Jake Paul, I'll knock you the fuck out.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
I have heard that.
Eating these nice like dinners, but he would always just say something about Jake Paul, and it never panned out for him. I'm talking years of saying it, and I don't know if he thought he was gonna. Clearly, he thought he was gonna get the response, didn't. And then we look him up, and he's still saying shit like.
You gotta respect the commitment to it, though.
I think he deserves a fight too.
Yeah,
dude. I don't think a lot of people realize. So, the inauguration's been a couple weeks now, but there's a lot of content of Theo Von and the Paul brothers and Conor McGregor. They all came on the same bus together.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think people realize, like, Conor McGregor and Jake Paul had some serious fucking beef before that. Like, Conor basically said, like, if I ever see you, I'm going to fucking kill you.
I'm going to fucking kill you. I don't love them, but I did find myself after watching the documentary about Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Like, I respected him more than I did previously.
You start to realize how much, like, I took so much of it at face value of like, no, this is who they are. And now you see the character and the marketing skills. And it's like, there's a lot more to this than people think.
Love them or hate them, they're very good at self-promotion.
Speaking of famous heels, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a heel. And Conor McGregor, too.
Yeah.
The same way, dude. Conor McGregor will always hold the most special place in my heart because that's when I like got into UFC.
Me too.
Conor McGregor, like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
You know, that's like... I could hear that a million times and never get sick of hearing it, dude. That guy talking shit that's like sums up everything that I loved about the UFC when I first got into it.
It's incredible. What do you think of bringing it back to music? What do you think is like the cultural appropriateness of diss tracks coming and going? Like, do you think that is a thing that's going to leave, or is that going to stay?
Well,
do you think people is it as popular as what it used to be? I guess.
In the scheme of things, no, it's not as popular. But kind of in my small world, I've seen it become very popular in the last couple months here.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. So like the whole like country rap scene, there's been a massive beef.
Keep up with it?
Not really. No, fill me in.
Don't get me wrong. I can fill anybody in on it because I have been watching it. You know what I mean? I like to stay drama free, but other people's bullshit, I could be a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Well, you were just with Rocco and Adam Calhoun.
Yeah, there was
not that long ago.
Yeah, there
was
a lot
this
of
around
people,
the same time that all this was going on? Because like,
is a part of kind of what created it. Not what created it, but it was like maybe the last words said before punches start getting thrown kind of scenario. I got nothing to do with any of that, but all of them have a long-term history, right? And this is what I've broken it down and try to speak of this in favor of both of them. You got Upchurch, who is very country. He is what he says he is. He built a fan base of loyal people that know that he is who they believe him to be. Adam Calhoun kind of came up on the YouTube side of thing, doing content, patriotic content with his kid, known for saying whatever the hell he wants, telling it like it is kind of people, Republican, kind of freedom fighter, if you will. They join forces. They start making music together. All these other people join it. They make a bunch of bangers together. Everyone believes that they're all friends. And right about the time that I finally get the opportunity to start meeting some of these people, I've only been working at it for a fucking decade. It just goes to shit. Like this whole fucking thing goes to shit. And you find out that there's all these things that happened along the way that they've been hanging on to. But the Upchurch was going on the internet saying that Adam and all these people are fake and they're not country rap and they used him to get in the genre and all these things. And maybe he's right about some things, maybe he's not, but he's more of an internet. I make videos from home. I say whatever I want, no repercussions because I'm not going to meet you out to talk about this. And Adam's kind of like maybe a little way more actually like, well, if something needs to be said, let's meet up. Let's make a video about it. Like let's fight in a parking lot. Like he's about meeting up. And whatever the hell happened between them, I knew something was bubbling before that meetup down there. And I'm like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, because I ain't never been acknowledged by either side. Neither one of them has said, hey, I love what you're doing. Heard about you, none of this shit. So I'm like, you're either going to mess up your opportunity to work with one of them or you're never even going to attempt this. This has nothing to do with you. Rocco was my in. They had put out a word saying anybody and everybody that thinks they have something to contribute to this country rap project, show up in Nashville.
Hell yeah.
And they're like basically contact somebody. They wanted to slightly filter it, maybe but for the most part, everybody was invited. You just kind of had to call somebody.
Yep.
I found the fucking address in fucking no time from Wisconsin, and I think I made the farthest commute. So it's safe to say it was not hard to find. And there's only so many studios in Nashville, actually. I went there, had a good time. Everybody that I met in the 2 days I was there was being super positive. It was like this whole place being filled with people that all create shit, music, all that stuff. All hanging out. If a song was being played and like Sam's like, dude, I got something for this. They were like, go in on the spot. Rap it.
Damn.
And it was kind of intimidating at first. I honestly did not move the way I should have night one. Just kind of taking it all in. There were some legends in the building, you know. And I'm like, I felt anything but drama. As soon as I was there, I'm like, there is no issue here whatsoever. So second day for me goes way better. I snapped into action. I jumped on a song with a couple people. And I left. Drive all the way back to Wisconsin, and all of a sudden these videos start dropping about Upchurch is saying like fuck that gathering. That's a bunch of people that don't like, they're not country, they don't add to this lane. A bunch of city boys coming to Nashville to record. Fuck everyone related. Well, what he's saying is fuck everybody. Maybe these three other guys that have these big platforms, and the rest of the people involved are trying to grow in music, which is a very hard place to grow. So you're just like deliberately stepping on these people and like kind of like setting your people up to kind of attack people in a weird way. So all I saw happening was everybody that left and posted their photos, which shout out to Rocco. Rocco was the only person really down there documenting the whole thing.
That's so cool.
So every photo being shared about the drama or every video was all him. Like everything that he, like all his shit. So it was kind of cool to see.
So for the people that don't know, Rocco is your buddy who does photos specifically, not for Adam. Does he do specifically photos for Adam at like shows and stuff?
He has a good relationship with Adam. He does photos and videos for like a lot of people.
A lot of people that are touring with him, and I know he has done photos for Adam.
Adam was one of the biggest like artists to like give him a regular like gig and bring him on tour and stuff.
That's so cool.
And Rocco's like if you treat me well, will treat you well. I got your back forever. So Adam was good to him in his earliest stages. He's got Adam's back. But I know specifically he was also a fan of what Upchurch and other artists were doing. Yeah. He always kept up with people, but he's the media guy. He doesn't have to hold the side.
Yeah.
So he's just filming everything. It said there's signs everywhere saying like don't film stuff on your phones. And all this positive shit was happening. But when I got back, here's where I slightly took a side to it, and I still, like I said, I feel impartial to it, but this is when the real beef started when I got home, and it was them going back and forth like they're going to start dropping these diss tracks. But what I saw out of Upchurch was like anybody that was there, he was saying, if you were there, like you're dead to me. And that involves so many people that are just trying to get like their first couple songs to take off, or like, all these people. And I was like, seeing him make these videos saying that everybody there was like, they had to sign these contracts, and this was like a secret move for them to like take younger artists and like get them to sign some shit and like take away their scenario to be able to put out their own music. And like, dude, you could barely catch the big dog's attention in there. They had so much going on with all of these like people moving throughout the studio that they spent thousands and thousands of dollars to rent for like 14 days. It's unheard of. I've never heard of anyone do it in any genre. So now I got a discrepancy with just the way that he's saying it went down when he wasn't there. And he's saying, nobody told me where it was. It's in his hometown, and he knows like all of these people. I know that in the snap of a finger, he could have been there. He knows exactly that he could have, and he would have been embraced with open arms. It was a shame that he didn't. But all he did is bash this project for 3 weeks straight since we did it. So everybody that got caught in the crossfire, all these people that were there, have people showing up to their comments and like eating them alive because they're backing up one side or the other.
They got the church gang coming.
And luckily, or the other side, but luckily for me, I realized pretty early, like I did not build my fan base off of this. Most people don't even consider me country rap. I just felt I have something to contribute to it.
Totally, yeah.
And So none of these people are coming to my comments, but I'm seeing it happen to other people that don't deserve it, that were there helping, being cool. And these guys deserve credit for putting it on in the fucking first place. I can't even imagine what it would take for me to be like, all right, I'm going to throw this fucking event that's basically like going to give anybody in the country a chance to come jump on the clout train if you want, like come get on this giant album. Like that's helping out younger artists, like hella good.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't perfect either. I don't know anything about what they did to really piss off the other side, but now the diss tracks start dropping. And this is when it was the point of no return. Adam, up church, Adam, up church, Adam, up church. Diss track, diss track, diss track. And then other artists start joining. Now other people see you mention him and your platform can blow up. And I was like, I'll tell you this right now. I was there at the get down. I came back. I saw everybody tagging it. I realized you probably could gain some serious views on YouTube if you mentioned this. And I chose not to for the reason that, one, I'm impartial to it. I'm not taking a side. I love both of those guys' music. I want to collaborate with both of them. I don't think that can happen now. It might have gone too far. So are the diss tracks popular? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, they came back hard for this, and they both said some shit you don't come back from.
Well, and from what I understand, like what the Drake and Kendrick beef was for rap music, like that is, the Upchurch Adam of country rap.
So yeah,
like it's been massive.
I have not heard a single one of these diss tracks. Upchurch Adam, either one of them. Has anyone called anyone a pedophile yet? Because that seems to be the fucking hard line in the sand with diss tracks these days. Whoever calls the other guy a pedophile first wins.
I don't know.
It's crazy that you can say it without having to back it up. Like,
I think someone did mention you're the country version of Diddy. I think someone said that.
That's the same thing.
Like people were going at each other's old ladies. People were going at each other's drugs of choice. People were going at each other's the little things you know about each other from tours that you did, and that you or your old lady might not know about, or videos of private studio sessions came out.
So they were letting it all fucking
They were letting
fly.
it all out, and some people got caught in the crossfire. That, like, for instance, Jelly Roll. He's long since left the country rap world. He's in the country world, and he's probably got a decent hold on, his PR team, you know what I mean? Like, any scandals coming out today, and all of a sudden they released this, like, 30-minute video of them all bullshitting in the studio one night, and you can tell by the framing that it's, like, somebody's camera, like, way low. Does not look like anything that anybody knew they were on. And people were just saying, like, you're talking to your bros, you know what I mean? Nothing like too bad, but like still pretty bad.
Shit that you say and like maybe don't say it on a fucking camera.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of, there's the line.
Yeah. And so they're dropping this shit or whatever. And I saw it from a ways away. I was like, okay, if this happened in my own like personal friend world, like obviously you'd have to respond, or you'd have to go completely ghost and like say absolutely nothing, because now you're bringing up like personal shit. And I got no beef with people like that. So I really, really could not join it. Even though I was at the event, I was like, that does not just automatically enter me into the ring for this.
Yeah.
Like it's not. And it was so positive. The three big artists that were there was Adam, Calhoun, Demon Jones, and Broadnax. These three guys put up the money, got the studio. These guys got millions and millions and millions of streams. They do not need to be doing this. And they were sitting right there with you, like if you were writing a verse or you were in there recording. I seen them sit there right with a couple people as they recorded.
Wow.
Getting them to do better takes. Hey, I would do it like this. Hey, that's good, but that's not really working out for this. Why don't you go upstairs, write that a little bit harder? They were coaching people through shit. Other people were coaching each other. Like, dude, this is how I do it. Like, people were giving away free advice. Like, this is how I do it.
It's unheard of nowadays.
Yeah, you probably never get to see that like in-person collaborative effort ever anymore.
Yes.
It
and
doesn't exist anymore.
It was so cool, and we were all like taking photos together, and like it really, really felt cool, because I felt like invisible to these people for years. Like, if you can imagine, I'm gaining like thousands and thousands of followers and streams and doing festivals with like peers of theirs. Like, I work with this person, or I open up for this person. And I just kept thinking like I'll get to meet these people sooner or later. It took about 10 years of making music, but 4 years from when I started really pushing it. to like actually meeting them. And there's just this weird cloud over it immediately going there. Like you're going to piss off like the big bad wolf or something. I just thought that was a big shame because yeah, it probably drew a bunch of attention to it that some people are going to use, but it just felt like, why does this have to implode right now?
Right. Yeah. This eliminates half of who I want to network with right off the rip.
It does. Yeah. And you also know, like, it's pretty easy to tell, like, kind of who's associated with who. So, like, if you do a song with this person, you're going to make that person mad. And I'm like, I just don't operate that way. I don't even think that deep about it. I almost had no collaborations up until a couple years ago. And for different reasons, because you find things out about people, and all of a sudden you're like, man, that dude I did that song with, I didn't know he had that in him, you know, like whatever. But now it's like a little bit of a piss and match. But the diss track thing, just as a fan of music, and I was a fan of both of them, it was kind of fun to watch because some really funny shit happened of it. And then the kicker of it, I thought I hope this is the end of it, but this was the coolest culmination of it. Hate track. Rocco gets the opportunity to go with Who the Fuck is Just in Time to a Walmart. And he said, my video guy won't come in there with me and film like public stuff. He's like, social anxiety. And Rocco's like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So he's got a video basically taking comedic relief on the whole thing. And one thing that Upchurch did that in one of the diss tracks, he stopped and went a cappella. And then Adam did it to like try to like top that he did it. And then they all kind of started making fun of being a cappella. Like it was just weird. Like one person would do something, then the other person would, then everybody comments. It's a weird space, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, he's like, all right, well, you obviously got to go a cappella. So he plays like 30 seconds of a beat, then proceeds to rap for like 7 minutes straight, saying just nonsense. Like it's like he's rhyming avocado and squeegee and like all these things, like just trying to like, you know, I don't know, like Eminem used to do that. Like you almost like proving that you can like rap harder than anybody. Well, Upchurch did that on one of the tracks. And then you got Justin kind of making this comedic relief of it while in a fucking Walmart. There's people walking behind them and shit. You can imagine Rocco gimbaling down the aisles and stuff. Yeah. They're both dressed outrageous. You got to check the video out. But he at least took like a comedy take. And this is what I'll say about it to finish it up, because it is a long topic, I realize. Is the comments was the first unanimous, like the church fans loved it and the Calhoun fans loved it. They said, no matter what fucking side you on, this is fucking funny. And I was like, if you don't have that person that comes in and is like, just makes a little bit of a fucking joke about something, you know what I mean? Like in high school, I remember I got in a fist fight with a kid and we both had to go back to the same party, right? There's one elephant in the room. He's got his eyes swollen out to here. One guy walks in, everybody's silent about this. Nobody can say nothing to this kid. And then one guy comes in, he's like, what the hell happened to your face, Frank? Everybody starts laughing. The party goes back to normal. It was like we never fought, right? That's what he did. He showed up. He made a funny comedic video about the whole beef, because really at the end of the day, it's going to last a long time. It's going to take money away from people. It's going to take opportunities away from people. It's going to make festivals want to book this group of people
over
and not
another
this.
one.
And like, we can't add him because you know what'll happen. And I was like, as someone who's just scratching the surface, I was like, man, what a letdown. Because I like both of these guys. All the songs they did together, I always had in my playlist and shit. So I was like, man, what a shitty scenario. But the difference was, the last thing I'll say, Upchurch, awesome dude, fucking super talented, one of the best to do it. He fucking took a stance of, I'm not going to fucking, there's no recourse for this. I'm against this guy for life. And Adam proceeded to still have the get together to help these people. So all I can know is the person I actually met. And that's the guy that fucking let me walk into a studio of a bunch of people, record a fucking song, and hang out there for 2 fucking days straight, when I didn't necessarily, you know, maybe in my mind I did something to prove to be able to be in there, but I didn't get any cosign to be there. It was you got to show up and actually show up when you're there. They were kind of telling people if you lingered around too much and you didn't act,
we're kicking you out.
Well, what are you
being
doing?
weird. Yeah,
what are you doing?
You're being
here?
weird.
So everybody that was there was working. So I'm like, I can't take a side, but it's pretty easy to see what side you're on when the one side is helping everybody that wanted to join, and the other side's making videos talking shit. So I'm like, if that was just 2 of my local friends, I'd tell the one that's doing nothing but talking shit to just shut up. you're kind of ruining this for everybody. You know what I mean? But because it's these like big internet people, you have to watch what you say because nobody wants to get their shit canceled. But at the end of the day, you can't be canceled if you don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Bring us back into that studio. That had to feel like so inspiring and this like really like relight a fire under your ass. Like these are the guys that are doing exactly what I want to do. Like how cool to be in a space like that and just working with these guys side by side. I couldn't imagine what that felt like.
For me, like looking up to these guys specifically, it was like being in the room with just a bunch of fucking rock stars. Like I've seen them in shows where like I'm there as I bought a ticket to be at this. You know what I mean? Not like we played together on this lineup. These are the big artists in the space that I'm working with. And I was like the whole way down there, I'm thinking about this. Obviously I had like 13 hours to think about it. Get down there, walk in the fucking place. And I feel like I'm going to be like, questioned or like just something.
Yeah.
I walked in, there was like 4 people sitting on a couch. I like walked past them. I got in another room, seeing all these people sitting there that even if you didn't know them, you kind of recognize them from shit. And you're like, oh my God, like, dang. And that's kind of where I felt like myself like slightly shell up day one, like just kind of like, what am I doing here? And every photo that I see of myself day one, I'm kind of like, just kind of stonewalled, like I'm just kind of don't know what to do.
I get it.
And Broadnax, really cool. Like for a bigger artist, he like pulled me aside and he was like, "Hey, I just want to tell you, like I'm really glad that you're here, and I just kind of want to know, like why didn't you snap into something today?" And I was like, honestly, like I just didn't like see my moment. And when a song was really good, like 10 people would try to get on it. And if a song really wasn't that good, nobody wants this. It made kind of the people still stagnant, like look like you didn't want to join something. So you're kind of like publicly like pass, like, and it was like you never knew whose song it was. So it was kind of like a weird scenario. But I went back and I thought about that shit like hard as fuck after the first night. Went back to my hotel, did not go out at all when I was down there. So like it was like business only. And I came back the next day with like 4 things written down that were like rough ideas to get into something. I was like, I'm not driving back to Wisconsin with the mentality of like, I should have did this or I should have jumped on some. So I was like, maybe a little too eager. And then this kid drops this epic song and I just like, yep, I'm getting on this one. I went upstairs. I wrote a part. I came downstairs. All these people, I'll try to paint the picture. Big glass window looking at the microphone. The person on the microphone can't hear anything other than the beat, but you can see all the people in the lounge. They can hear every single thing that you say, breathe, like anything that you do. So you go up there and you slay it. It's like a performance to these people.
Yeah.
If you go up there and you bomb it, you don't know what they're saying about you out there. You know what I mean? So like that, the whole day of like previously seeing, I saw some people go in there and do better than others. Some people did good. Some people did not so good. And I was just like, fuck, man, like I got to fucking do this. I walked in there, dropped a simple verse, loved it, came out, and Broadnax was the first person I seen. He's the guy that kind of gave me the inspiration to be better the next day. And he was like, he's got deep Louisiana accent. He's like, scared for what? Scared for what? And I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, fucking, like, I don't know. I was fucking scared. And like, I gave him a high five, and there was all these people out there afterwards, and they kind of were like, dude, that was fucking sick. And I was like, like I just didn't really know what the fuck was going on. And that kind of rode that high for a while. I fucking collaborated on some other stuff. I didn't get on anything, but I just kind of helped out, met some people. Everybody was cool. And then like towards the end of that night, I just talking to some of the OGs that were in there. They were like, hey man, it's cool that you came down here. It's cool that you wanted to be a part of this. Thank you. They're telling us thank you.
That's so badass.
Dude. It was. They were like, thank you for caring about it enough to come down here. And there's no guarantees that anybody's going to be on this. Just because you recorded doesn't mean that it's going to be on it, but there's a chance that it will be. So stay tuned. And they said like, there's a good chance that if it doesn't go on this, we'll just like give everybody their shit. And like you can
that's awesome.
Yeah, you can put that song out. It was recorded in a really nice studio. So
that's so bad.
You won't regret that. And they gave like some little advice to everybody that kind of left. And then you could tell, I was there on like day 9 or something. You could tell they were exhausted.
Yeah.
Beat up. I can't even imagine entertaining. It's crazy the amount of people. I forgot the number they said, but it's hundreds that showed up throughout the 14 days. So it was wild. It was cool to see. They were super great to me. I was in a little bit of state of shock. Just like, obviously I fucking deserve to be there. It took me a while to convince myself that, but standing in a room of all these people, there was people in there that you don't even know. 0 social media following, probably not good at marketing themselves. And they went in the microphone and like snapped. Talk about pressure. You're the one that they have heard of you. There's some of these people have heard of you. I got told by at least a couple people in there, like, we know who you are.
Damn.
Well, now the pressure's really on because you go out there and you rap. And
there's an expectation.
You're better. Like if nobody knows who you are, you have nothing to lose at that point.
Right.
It's like if I go in there and suck, everyone expects me to suck
they're
in the
like,
first place.
Next.
But as soon as someone's like, I like your shit, then it's like, oh, now if I go in there and suck, everyone's gonna be like, oh, I was wrong.
This sounds like it was like country rap beast games almost. Like the stakes are high. If you do good, like you got there's so much opportunity here.
Dude, it was literally so fucking sick to witness. Like basically like they didn't have a system down for how it was going to go down. So this is kind of how it was working when I was there. Most artists will have songs on them that are like half done, 3/4 done. You got the hook on it or like a verse and you just don't know the direction. But it's like, someone could tell that this is a song. Yep. People were just bringing out these that they have and like, yo, what did everybody think about this? And you're just hearing like everybody's like quarter, half done shit. And you could tell pretty easily, like, yo, if you would have just sent this to me in Wisconsin, I would have got on this immediately. And people were getting up, snapping into action, and you start to see how people work. Some people went in there and freestyled, like literally did it, took a piece of the last one, left it in there, do another piece. Some people was right off the top of the dome the whole time. Some people went upstairs and wrote. Some people be holding the phone there. You know, some people probably had somebody else write it for him. Yeah. I don't know, but like everybody in there was like working different, but together. And I never saw one person.
A lot of different creative processes. And
for sure.
It's definitely seeing people's writing styles. I'm sure has to be like, damn, that's how you fucking do that.
One kid, Leroy Biggs specifically, I wanted to meet him for a long time. He's a funny ass fucking dude, authentic as they come from Tennessee, and seen him on the steps when I got there. I know who he is. I do not expect him to know who I am. And he's like, he's got a big old blunt in his hand. He's like, I know you. Just let me think of it. And I was like, he ain't gonna get it. Like I was like, there's no way. And all he says is Prescott. And I was like, fair enough, brother. Like fuck yeah, dude. And we proceeded to bullshit a little bit more than the rest of the guys. Like when I was around him, he seems like I already kind of knew him is what it felt like. But that kid went in there. They're like, I think you're going to like this song. They played it for him. He just gets right up. Yup. He walked in there, freestyle this whole part. No paper, no nothing. He's like working this out in front of people. That's a very vulnerable way to be.
Like the Juice WRLD of country rap.
Yeah, just on the spot coming up with this where I'm a fast writer. I get compliments. People will be like, man, you come up with that quick. But I still needed to go write it. I still needed to be in my own head. I work out my cadence a little bit. I know how I'm going to come in. So it sounds like a little bit better when I present it. He's like, I don't give a shit, dude. I'm going to go in there and just wing this. And it sounded good. They end up using like a huge chunk of what he did just off the top of his dome. And I only work with a couple people, so like I never saw that before. Yeah. So it was cool to watch. But overall, positive experience. I was stoked to be a part of it or be allowed in the freaking door. And it was just a shame to see kind of that because of a beef, the narrative was able to be flipped that it was something that it wasn't, because they said not only that it was something they were like, if everybody got signed onto a record deal when they were there, then maybe I misspoke of saying that my verse was bomb because I did not get offered. Maybe they did, but nobody offered me shit. So I thought, that's a lie, and it seemed like a way to paint it as a bad scenario. And I don't know how you could really paint that in a bad scenario, because I don't know many people that are already successful that reach back that way. And they're going to gain from it too, because they got a bunch of talented people that basically hand them their best shit, but they already got the streams. They didn't even need no one to hand them their best shit. Like,
it's a great idea because it's a win-win situation. You're already big, you already have a big following, but the benefit of not only putting on someone who's trying, but also collaboratively putting on someone that can also boost your platform that's already big and doing it together, like it's just win-win.
Yeah,
and
it
only
said,
makes sense.
They gave like a little speech at the beginning. It was kind of cool. Adam Calhoun specifically, he was like, I just want to let everybody in this room know, like, I don't give a fuck about your social media. So like, if you're in here, you got 500,000 followers, 6 million, 3, I don't care. I care if you can perform now. Like, if you can rap, if you can sing, if you can do it right now, that's all that matters. And I was like, it's actually very encouraging to the person that doesn't have much, but I also see, as someone that it took me a while to get to this point, I'm like, that's awesome, because it shouldn't matter. If you got 3 followers and you can just rap you can rap these people into oblivion, then it shouldn't matter. And they had people up there. There was a 17-year-old kid. His dad brought him in. BK
awesome.
Truly, look him up. Shout out BK Truly. That's my dog. 17 years old. His dad comes in. I thought they were both rappers. The way they look. He's like, yeah, I got my son in here. I'm thinking about how long it took me to get my dad's approval that I even make rap music. And this guy's dad's bringing him to rap gigs to like get up there with some of the big dogs. And
so
I was like,
badass.
he handed me a CD. Shit, I was like, man, it took me till my mid-20s to get my shit together, like putting out music consistently. You got a damn album at 17. I imagine if you keep your head screwed on straight. And then I came out and they were filming a piece of content. Like Adam sat down with them and was giving these like little kids like advice on this shit. So it's bigger than just, I mean, there was people there that were in their 40s. There was people there that were 17.
That's
like, so
crazy.
It's a wide range of people that want to participate on this. So I'm going to look at it as a positive, and I hope to hear about some of the shit that we did there soon instead of all the drama. I'm like, I want to hear some of the songs.
Totally.
They ain't mentioned it because the beef took priority.
No, I know obviously it moves slow in a setting like that, but like how long do you think some of these are going to take to get released?
They said there was like, because there's so many people that showed up, they said there was like 60-something songs that got done, and that 60 songs ain't going on the album.
Right.
So they have to do the process of filtering through that. Think, is this something that should be on this and we just need to join it? Is this a song that's already done and good? Or is this a song that we let them record there, but like, this ain't it? So they said something like summer, but I just can't wait to hear it because I kind of want to know if we made it. And I also am like, if we didn't, I know that the guys that I got on the song with, we'll put that shit out.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's sweet.
Dude, speaking of making it, because I'd be damned if I didn't bring this up before this ends. I could tell Cody over here was getting a little squirrely.
I'm not getting squirrely.
Dude,
I'm here for the long haul.
You
I'm a
feel
marathon.
froggy.
What is
I-
you mean ends before a bathroom break or ends?
we're already hitting an hour. This has been flying by. I have.
We're in it for the long haul.
The hour rule doesn't apply when DPK is here. It never
Doesn't
has
apply.
once.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't apply. And because
We have that rule when it's a boys episode. When we get Travis in the building, the hour rule is not even in my mind right
Absolutely. And with that in mind, I'm going to say we need to take a bathroom break. And as soon as we get back, we're addressing you going on stage with Fred Durst. Because
now. Man, I
forgot
forgot we
about
talked
that.
about that.
Sam, what were you going to ask before we went to bathroom break?
yeah, Sam.
You want to
locked
clap?
back in. Cam got a good change in.
Change out Cam's diaper, change Mitch's diaper. We're ready to roll again.
I've never felt so fresh.
Dude, I've been waiting to address this. When you went on stage with Fred Durst, that was unfucking believable. I think I voted 100 times for you.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that
Thank you.
concert.
I was gonna
I
say
did as well.
I didn't know if it like would let me vote multiple times. I don't know if they were counting, but I was I sat on lunch at work one day in my truck, and it was like a half hour
I did the
straight. I
same
was just
thing.
bored.
It was a
just like,
couple
fuck it.
days in a row. I just submitted as many times. I was like, there's no way that he is not going to get the chance to do this.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
Thank
So
you.
for people that don't know, what was the whole deal? You won a contest with 93X
Yeah.
to go up on stage with Fred Durst.
Chance to.
Oh, a chance to do it.
There was no
No guarantee.
all the way up until the moment it happened. No guarantee.
And they said that? Did they make that clear?
Yeah.
Very clear.
Like, hey, he might.
It was
not-
very
just not
much like
wanna
a
do
you
this.
get to go hang out with him, and if he thinks that it's a good idea, then he'll do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And there was a weird terminology that made it pretty known that if both of you come up there and for whatever reason they don't think, because as a performer, I knew that the whole time. I knew that you could make a video, you could do so good, you could get all the votes, and that don't fucking mean that you could stand in front of people, let alone how many people were there. So, anyways, yeah, I got about maybe 4 days notice on the deadline. My buddy told me about it. And I've been a Limp Bizkit fan forever, but I will admit I did not know that song, which makes it kind of cooler because like just the one strength that I've always had is memorization. And I started mowing the lawn outside. I'm listening to the song over and over and over and over and over, back to back to back, repetition. I got it pretty close to down after the first night. After 2 nights, I'm like, now I got to focus on the video. Made a video, got it in the nick of time.
Video is fire.
Which one was it? Was it Dad Vibes or what?
It was Turn It Up, Bitch.
Turn It Up, Bitch. Okay,
Same album. Yeah. So they're like, you got to have all these votes for these videos. And they said it's you rapping to the song, but they didn't say like, do you find the instrumental? Do you rap over the song playing in the background? Do you make a music video where you're lip syncing it? There's no details on this because I don't think that they plan on needing to elaborate that. And so anyways, I was like, I'm just going to make it how I would post it on YouTube. Like if I was going to make this or whatever. So I did a combination of both. I was rapping it into my mic with the song also playing. And so you could hear both of them, but you can hear his song as well. Some people chose to just rap it in front of their house, whatever. And the voting process was, they said that like everybody said, like same as you guys. And I do appreciate that, like to the moon and back. Vote 1,000 times or whatever. It was like 1 vote per person per day. Anything more than that's considered spam. I don't know if they just said that or not, but that's what it said. So 1 vote per day.
Maybe they only count 1.
Right.
I had time to kill
but
anyway.
Everyone kept telling me it's letting us vote, so they kept doing it.
Yeah.
But you get through that, and then they refined it down to I think 3 videos.
Yep.
And then now it was no, the first one was 93X voted. The second one
they picked, and then you got like it was like a top 5 or top 10 thing,
Yep.
and then you can vote.
Top
and then the
5.
top 3 got sent to.
Yeah, top 2 got to go to the actual event. You go there. Now here's where the story gets fucking crazy. If you're gonna rap battle against somebody, you know what I mean? Like you kind of don't. Speaking of rap beef, you know what I mean? It's in your best interest to actually not like the person, or it's gonna seem like a little weird that you gotta, rap against each other, kind of like
a little disingenuous.
I gotta take what you want. You're gonna take what I want. Gotta feel that way, you know what I mean?
You gotta make them the villain.
Yeah. So right out the rip, they're like, "Sorry guys, to let you know that we don't have like all that much planned here until the actual moment. We're kind of in the gray, so like, just bear with us." So we're going to kind of just watch you guys, and you're just going to sit here because we just got you backstage at a Limp Bizkit concert. We can't just let you free. So we're sit together immediately, right? And it's me, Caroline, him, and his friend. And they're nice as fuck. So am I. So is Caroline. So we get along right out the rip. They're both from Somerset, the town we're in. We get to bullshit, and they had already looked me up, so they're like, You got any music shit going on? You know what I mean? I was like, this isn't the way I seen this going down.
You wanted to hate this guy.
Well, I know I don't have it in me to hate anybody, but in the moment, it would have been beneficial for me to think that he was a tool. You know what I mean?
You were on a mission.
It would have been easier.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had to go hard or whatever. So anyways, what ends up happening was, I'm just going to tell the whole story because the way it unfolded, no one really got to see this part. So they didn't really know how to tell us when he was going to come, how it was going to go down, what you really had to do. Was it going to be, the concerts already had started, like the openers, Corey Feldman, fucking shout out to Goonies. They had some wild entry artists, Riff Raff, fucking Bones.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know
Yes.
who Bones is.
Bones is
What
the
was
shit.
what was the
Shit.
event? Was it Loser Fest or Loserville? or
Loserville
something?
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fucking sick, dude. Like different bands that you just did not see all going together, but he like handpicked.
That's what made the beauty of it. That's why
cool.
it's like Loserville. It's all these like outcast, crazy, like kind of out of pocket bands.
Exactly. And obviously growing up, Limp Bizkit was that the wild card of the group. So anyways, Caroline goes to the bathroom and she comes walking out, and I always thought one of the cutest things about her is she does not do well with like knowing who people are. I do. So anyways, and she also didn't grow up in the same exact era as me. She's 5 years younger. So I'm out there by myself with this kid and the other kid, and the 93X lady. And then Fred just come walking up. Street clothes, shorts, fucking Nike Cortez is on, little Wrangler hat. And I was like, oh shit. And I like kind of stood up and I was like, what's up? And he was like, just as calm as possible. He's like, hey guys, what's up? And Caroline walks up immediately. She sees us standing. So she's like, what's up guys? We going somewhere? And I was like, Caroline, this is Fred. And she at least the name clicked. She's like, oh, hi. And he's like, what's up, guys? And then he just tries to explain to us. He's like, so, like, we've never done anything like this before. You guys obviously have to understand that it's risky. You guys can rap. You got here. That's awesome. If you need any lyric discrepancies or you want to know, like, what a certain word is, let me know. But the way we're going to do it is we're going to have each one of you rap the song. I'm not going to tell you when. And if you got it, then we might go out there, and I just want to make sure we have some chemistry, so it's not going to be a failure, because I want to I want this to be sweet.
Yeah.
And so I was just, I just kind of mind on the mission. I wasn't saying much at that moment. And then he's like, you guys want to go watch the opening bands? Like, I hand selected these guys, so it'd be cool to go watch them. And I was just like, it's just another detail of, like, obviously I fucking want to do that. Mr. Fred Durst. Like, I want to watch all that. But, like, until we do the challenge, it's hard for me to focus on.
Yeah, you're on edge.
Yeah,
like
big time. So we go up on stage. We watch all the bands. First guy to go up there, Nate No Face. Never seen anything like this. The guy is playing his own keyboard, like a California Moog sound, like almost like a Dr. Dre kind of beats. But he's got just a microphone plugged into it, and he's like his own fucking band. He takes the microphone right after rip and starts smashing it into his head, bleeding everywhere.
Oh, my God.
Fred's, of all people, Fred Durst, is freaked out. He's like, a guy's on tour, stop one. Like, what are we doing? And he's like trying to get this guy to look at him so he can throw him Band-Aids and stuff. And like the things are getting weird in this like limbo time. And out of nowhere at some point, he was like, taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, hey, come with me. So like, all right. So we walk around the corner. Other people are playing backside of the stage. There's people walking by with crates and shit. And his drummer comes walking up, John Otto, and who I've also obviously listened to since I was a kid. I know all of these guys. And he's like, hey, this is my drummer, John. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't know exactly who you are. I was like, what's up, dog? I was like, I've been listening to y'all shit for way too long. Longer than I should have been allowed to, I think I said. And they were like, all right, man, hey, here's what we're going to do, right? Like, what would you do if we were like, I'm going to make an announcement? And like, I just did not know that they were just going to snap right into that like that, but I was ready. So like, as they did, I'm like, this cracker ain't slouching. Got the flow, keep the big boys bouncing. And I was like, my mind is thinking of the lyrics and about other shit at the same time. Like, I'm thinking about other things.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about, am I supposed to stop halfway? All these people carrying crates are like, why is this guy rapping this part? But he's also standing with the headliner. So like no one was informed of what was supposed to be happening. And I rapped the whole thing all the way through the whole first verse or whatever.
Like right in front of him, you're just
the drummer and Fred. And all these people are walking around us. We didn't go in a room. We didn't go anywhere. We were like literally just slightly backstage, and the music is blasting from other bands. Beats that have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so you're just a cappella ripping a song that you learned last week.
Yeah.
With a full-blown band going on behind you.
Yep.
Like
in front of a childhood hero.
Yeah, in front of Fred fucking Durst.
Yeah.
Like,
seriously, I was like there was so much going on. I literally thought, I asked Caroline, I was like, how long was that? I ate like some like chicken pot pie in the fridge, and I'm a leftovers guy. And I was like, how long was that in there? And she's like, why are you asking me that right now? And I was like, because I have a feeling in my stomach. I have never had food poisoning, but I'm like, something is happening. And she's like, I think this is just the biggest thing that you've ever done. And it just be like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah. Cause like the second, like I'll finish that part at the end of this or whatever. But the second everything was done, it was gone. Like didn't feel that no more. So clearly this was no food poisoning. So anyways, I rapped this part to them or whatever, and they were stoked about it. I got a great reaction from them. If I could have like A, had that filmed, or B, just kind of like just could marinate in that moment forever. That moment, not even the performance. I could live on that part, just rapping it to them.
Yeah.
And seeing them like kind of like, damn, son.
He's
like
fucking got it.
I got into it like I was performing it. And so they bring me back. Say nothing. He's asking me, how did you do? And I wasn't going to lie to him. I straight up said it. I was like, I don't really know how to gauge it, but I didn't mess up a single word. I feel good about it. They come and grab him. He goes out there. Comes back. He's like, bro, I think you got this. And I was like, it was kind of felt like a little defeating almost. I was like, what? Why are you saying that now? Are you reverse psychology me? Like, I just really didn't know because no one said nothing, right? And he's like, well, I didn't expect him to just hit me like that. And like, I kind of stopped halfway in the song, like I did the first verse, and I just thought to stop. And I knew in that moment, one thing I have learned while performing is no matter what you do, no matter if you mess up, the sound system goes or whatever, things happen, you don't stop. Ever. Just keep rolling. And good things will happen. You'll find your way back. And people learn that as they perform.
And
so
the crowd respects it too. Like if something happens, even if it's like an audio malfunction, if you start ripping out acapella.
Can we talk about it? Can we talk about Mariah Carey?
Well, that's the first thing that came to mind, where she's just at the inauguration. She's like, "Well, fuck it, might as well rip her acapella," and everyone starts.
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood. My bad.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah,
she's like looking around, like, why are they messing up this music right now?
So looking around, like, she's like, this is like one of the bigger performances, probably of like, or at least like, you know, one of those things that's like crazy.
I didn't watch it. Did her mic cut or what?
No, they had no audio, no music in the background. They couldn't get the fucking speakers to work.
Oh my god!
To sing "America the Beautiful,"
and
she just grabs the mic and she goes, "Well, do you guys know the words? Help me out!" and just rip the whole thing a cappella.
Whoa,
it was unbelievable.
That's cool.
Dude.
Yeah. So you got to rise to the occasion. So I knew that these guys aren't gonna go like let's say I stop halfway and they're like, "Hey, I was hoping that you do the second verse." All right. Can I do it? No, like it's just like a tiny moment of time to these people. It's really not their biggest priority either.
Oh yeah,
it's up to them.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah. So, anyways, I do my part. He does his, and the 93X girl's like, I still don't know what's gonna happen. Then they come up and they start telling us that we're both gonna do it. She's telling us that. Nobody told us that or whatever. So I think they're gonna have you both do it.
Oh my god.
And we're like. Both of us kind of felt weird about it. You could tell it was like, okay, like it's definitely a decent compromise. Because I didn't want him to go home empty-handed either. I liked him.
Right.
I still do. But obviously I want to do the whole thing myself.
Rightfully so. Yeah. You're kind of taking the full moment away from one of you by doing it both together.
Yeah. So respectfully to him, he said, if we both do it, what verse you want? And the second verse just goes a lot harder. It's more of a showcase. So I was like, well, if you're offering it, I'll take the two. And he's like, all right, if we both go. And so now I'm thinking that we're both going to do it or whatever, which kind of makes me feel bad about how it all ultimately ended up going down. But there's no way that you could ever take the time to absorb that as this was going down. He stops. They said, it's probably going to be after song 4. So first 4 songs, I'm barely able to fully absorb it.
I couldn't imagine you're sitting there for those like 12, 15 minutes, like, oh my God.
Just don't know.
What
and you can see the crowd's roaring, by the way. Like it just like
how many people were there?
Thousands. Like it's literally like I've never seen any. I've done decently big stuff. I knew it wasn't going to be anything at all like that. Like I've done big stuff. I knew it wasn't going to be.
Well, you've done On Tap and the Sticks.
Yeah, I did On Tap. That was like a field of people, right? And it was like if that place would have had the people all the way back to where me and Caroline got lost later that night, like way back, that's what it looked like. Like as far as the eye could see, there was people. So I was like, I knew this is like a big fucking moment, 3 minutes or whatever it's going to end up being if you get to. And so a lot of people don't know this, but when he said, hey, we ran this contest, some people fought their way through the ranks, they came up here, blah, blah, blah. They came and rapped for us before. And, well, one of these guys is going to come out here because he absolutely killed it. And he just like walks up and he just like, you see this all in the video that Caroline kind of got behind me. He just walks up, hands me the microphone. And when I grab the microphone, we start walking and like the beat kind of starts as we're walking up.
Oh my God.
And it gets into it pretty quickly. So like there's not much of a buildup. So you see me walking and then all of a sudden we're rapping. And the only thing that we messed up is this funny moment, like where because we're trying to learn in real time, like when he's going to say shit, when am I? Sometimes we're both. No practice, you know? We both stopped for another person to say the word. I forget what word it was or whatever, but it was like we both didn't say it. So we just pointed at each other. And then other than that, the whole thing went really, really good. It went obviously super fast. It's like 3 minutes. And we rapped the whole song, slayed it. The people afterwards were like, I think most of the time I feel like when people bring people on stage, it goes like okay. And the people kind of are like, get the real people back on here. They're kind of mean. Dude, these people were like, yeah. And then he's like, what's your name? And I'm like walking away. Like I almost whiffed giving my own name. We got the legend joining us. I almost whiffed giving my own name. I tried to like walk away because I was always taught as an opener, like as soon as you're done with your job, like get out the way, you know, get out of there. And he's like, what's your name? Like I said it twice. What are you doing? And I was like, my name's Travis, AKA Dirty Prescott Kids. Though I like extended the A. I said, AKA Dirty Prescott Kids. I'm from Wisconsin. And these people were like, ah! And I was just feeling that. And I kind of put my hand up and I walked away and we were just riding on this wave, right? And like the second we got, this is like the funniest like ending to it. Because obviously a bunch of amazing stuff happened afterwards, but we walked out and the lady's like, nice job. I got a hour and a half commute back to Blaine, so you guys no longer can be backstage. I hope you guys had fun.
Oh my God.
Like we're done here. And we're like, what? Like we want to watch like the rest of the concert. They're like, nope, like we're leaving. Like you have no, like you can't be back here anymore. So they like booed us out.
Oh my God.
Right? To the general population where this is my home. This is where I exist in my mind, though I have built myself up to a place where I get to go and perform and shit. So we go out there. I ain't worried about it. Like, hell yeah, go out there. That's where you can actually see the stage and watch these songs. Well, I didn't really factor in that you just were up there in a very blatantly obvious outfit. So the second we walked out and went towards like the t-shirts, people just started like running up and congratulating me and telling me that it was super awesome. And we're taking pictures with people and people were like, there was a combination of like, we knew who you were. There was we have no idea who you are, but you just did so good. And then this was my favorite one. I know who you are. I follow you, but I'm here to see Limp Bizkit. I had no idea. They missed the Facebook post. They missed the voting. They had no idea until the moment I walked out.
So they just shit their pants.
So they're like, what is he doing here? And it was like, so that was like cool to see like how many different people got to see that and everything. But the time that we spent with Fred and the rest of the band and the battling, the other kid, the performance, like everything all together was by far the coolest thing that I've done ever. As far as like an artist, it was so unbelievably cool to do, and it is somebody that I was listening to in like 5th grade. It's pretty obvious to see that he played a role in influencing my music. So like getting to do it, there's not very many like higher up on the chain that could have happened with, and it all happened because my homie Tyler Dunning, I don't listen to the radio, and he hit me up and said, bro, you seen this contest? And I was like, what contest? So if he didn't tell me about it, I wouldn't have known about it. I wouldn't have done it.
Cool.
So yeah, it was the shit. And Fred was way more, obviously he's older now. He was way more like calm and collected and chill than I ever would have imagined for his like abrasive of music as he drops. He was like, yeah, man, what do you got? I like to make a true hip hop song when I can, you know, anything where the band can take a break and I go up there and just rap. He's like, so like turn it up, bitch. it's just me out there, man. So I wanted to think of a way to bring somebody out, but I didn't know how to do that. And I was like, bro, I will go on tour with you right now. I was like literally ready to. I was like, and so last thing that I'll say about it, because I don't humble brag too often, but shortly after that, he got my phone number and sent me a text message and told me to stay in touch. So I'm on at least a phone number basis with the homie now.
Hell yeah.
So I was like,
that's got to be
hey,
the coolest phone number to have, dude.
You know, I'll be like pick and choose if I ever freaking hit it up. I better have a really good scenario. But I will tell you, man, having it going the way that it did and not like, even if I did all this cool shit, I knew you whiff this, there's obviously the possibility of whiffing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If I do, it's going to be hard to shake this one. Like, doesn't matter that you did all this positive things leading up to this. You bomb this. So I just made it in my mind. It was like, I know this song better than my own songs. I have songs that I've wrote that I know less than that song. And it was also cool because like a week later, I started going around to different bars, Prescott, you know, places that I'm at, my local haunts. And everybody that was either there or my friends that, you know, saw it happen, they all know the song back to back now too. So like, it's kind of like, it kind of became like our kind of song now too.
Yeah.
Like, so a bunch of people know it. Now Caroline's making ice bath videos, rapping the whole part. And the contest is over. If she would have known that the same time that I did, it could have been me against her.
Yeah, good point.
Dude, I would have
some family affairs.
You think people would have voted for me if she was an option?
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, nobody would have. Nobody would have.
Dude, it was fucking insane. Especially Caroline's video. It really helped. Like, she put it all together very nicely. But like, I had people from Pine City hitting me up just for knowing you, being like, "Holy shit,
Same.
did you see this?" And
Yeah, me too.
it was unbelievable when you went on stage. Like, just like you said, like it could have been a moment that haunted you forever. Instead, it's like it's one you'll never forget.
Yeah, it's like baked in a good way. Like, and of all the things I've ever done, there's one song, right? One song, and they killed their set, by the way. Never expected nothing less, but it's Limp Bizkit. One song out there does not supersede a concert. It never will. The amount of times that I've heard about that moment and like people bring it up to me, it kind of teaches me a little bit else. You know, maybe that's not 100% true because all I got up there was about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And you'd think I was up there slaying with them the whole time because people are like, brother, I seen you at the Limp Bizkit concert, bro. And I was like, I'm glad that, because if you would have took a piss, you would have missed it. You know, like I had friends that said, do you think I should come? I started getting kind of offended by some people that asked too many times, do you think we should go? Do you think we should go? Nobody that actually fucking like followed the story at all asked me. They're like, dude, we got pit tickets. Can't wait to see you. And I'm like, just to let you know, like, there's no guarantee. They're like, yeah, there is, brother. You know, like they were all about it. And some people are like, dude, just text me and tell me, should I come? And I'm like, first of all, the only thing you get out the deal is a Limp Bizkit concert with the possibility of me joining it, right? It's a win-win. Like, what do you got to lose? Well,
Exactly.
It's a Monday.
Dude, so I love that you said that it's a Monday because Cody and I were fucking trying everything.
Monday.
We were going to borrow his dad's RV.
Yeah.
We all had to work late, so we were going to leave super late, and then we would have had to leave at like 5 a.m. for everyone to make work. And eventually we added all the math up. We're like, fuck.
It was.
I don't know if we can
It's
make
just not a
this
winnable
happen.
one, yeah.
It was tough for even us to go facilitate because like, oh, we got to go rage on a Monday and convince people to go. It's like you don't have to rage, obviously, but it's
It's a limp. You kind of do.
You do.
You go
kinda
on
do a
stage
little
with
bit,
Fred
yeah.
Durst, you got to rage a little bit.
I didn't, dude. Not even a drop, brother. Like
You were just high on life
dude,
at that point.
I could not imagine.
Didn't smoke, didn't drink. I don't usually before my shows anyways, but like a couple Ronnie D's, I would never put it past myself. They were like honest like hawks, man. They were giving us liquid death waters, and they were like, you know, we were like a liability. So like, if you didn't pregame in the parking lot, I was just in there for hours. So I didn't have the option to if I wanted to. But one cool thing that happened that I kind of forgot to say, but while they're trying to watch us and shit, 93X doesn't know. Not that this like played anything into it, but I tried to not acknowledge that it like I make music because I knew people would try to take it away from me.
Yeah.
Like, because I already saw people comment, he's already a rapper. What does that matter? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I have a guarantee to the win. So anyways, we were standing close to the pit. You see all these people, and people are funny. Like, you don't even have to recognize someone. You just see someone standing backstage and you like think that they're somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting back there with the mullet and camo overalls and like these 80 sunglasses. And there's people like just kind of like pointing like, who's this person standing there? Well, a couple of my friends were close by. We were looking at them for the longest time, trying to get their attention. You could see them smoking blunts and they're having a blast, but they're not looking at us. Well, they freak out because they're seeing their friends. And it's like minutes till this is going to go down. So they're like, oh my God. Then the other people start reacting. Then they're yelling at us. They're like, come here, come here, come here. So I asked security, I'm like, can I just walk like 15 feet and like slap hands with them? He's like, I don't care. So I walked up there, slap hands with my friends. Other people are yelling at me because like they seen them slap my hand, so they want me to high five them. People are handing me their stuff saying like, will you try to give this to so-and-so? And I was like, I don't even know who that is, you know? and so like, I'm just laughing because these people think like I'm the fucking guy or something. And I come back, and obviously it was a cool little moment. And the 93X girl, shout out to 93X, thank you for putting on that scenario. But in this moment, it was funny. She goes, yeah, actually I take that back. It was the guy with her. He goes, don't do that again. Like stern, don't do that again. I go, whoa, I just did it. So like, you know, there's that, like it's over with. And he's like, no, like you don't go out there and interact with those people. And I was like, those people are my friends. And those people asked me to sign their t-shirt or whatever. And he kind of looked at me, I think with the look of like, look, brother, you're just about to go up and do like a contest with Limp Bizkit. I don't think you need to be signing t-shirts. Well, after I did it, after everything went down, they shared biggest fan raps with Fred Durst, and then the freaking floodgates opened up. I seen so many comments of shout out to the people that, you know, showed up to that post. They were like, biggest fan, you better put some respect on Dirty Prescott Kid's name and shit. And then all of a sudden, I think it dawned on them like that, like at least I wasn't unheard of up until that moment. I'm not saying that I am anything, but there's a reason that those people had recognized me. We're in my home fucking state, of a state that I, Lord, have mentioned 7 million times in my songs. Like, there's a good chance that there was some people in that crowd that I knew. Not to mention I've been marketing the concert for like a week. So it was funny, like, having those interactions with them. They like they followed you to the porta potty, not in there, but like close by to make sure you didn't like jump in someone's trailer or something. But yeah, it was one of the coolest moments for me. And I think that although I didn't get any like direct like offer or anything from it, it gave me an opportunity to show that I could do some shit on a much bigger stage than I've been given so far. And it showed myself that
it's good for your portfolio, you know? It's
100%.
something like, fuck, it looked like you were supposed to be there.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Because it felt like if you don't get an opportunity to go out and do this, you can't show people like, hey, I'm sorry that I believe in myself so much. I'm not downplaying nothing. But for years, I've had to explain to people that are like, why don't you play at this bar or this bar? These places, they love to silently insult you by like, you could come try to grow your tunes here by playing here for free, or you could come here and we'll give you the price of a local DJ or whatever. And as I keep getting booked and like trying to grow as an artist, I turn a lot of those things down because, for one, it's not worth the energy to go do unless it's fun. Like the boys are throwing a party or something at Froggy's, like, let's do it. But like to just play at a place like you're the Saturday night entertainment that they want to throw you $300, I'll just wait until a bigger opportunity comes. And so going and doing something like that was cool because it was like, I'm not saying it's going to be like that every time. I know it's not. But if I can go out and perform for even 3 minutes to 3,000 people, do you understand slightly why I'm not entertaining playing for 20? Right. You know what I mean? 100%. I'm not downplaying it, but it's like I have a bigger vision for myself, and the more stuff I accept that's tiny, the people perceive you that way. And I was like, I need. Well,
and it's like, what are you getting out of 20 people in a fucking hole in the wall in Wisconsin? You know, how many of those 20 are really fucking ripping it like you want them to? Like, are being like, not. We all like your music, obviously. if I'm some old head sitting at a fucking bar and like you're ripping fucking Rage In, I'm like, who the fuck is this asshole and why is he ruining my night? You know,
I've had it happen.
I've
had it happen where like you could tell they didn't know what was about to happen, and all of a sudden it's just like interrupting their mind. They're like, one guy walked out of Alabama show, the rest of the people stuck around, but one guy walked out right after rip. Rage In is last, so like. This is CFDT. It's way more abrasive. Right after rip. I don't know why I used to start with that song. And he walked out immediately. I mean, the song just started, and he's like, goes right by us. Like, there's no fence around the stage and where I'm at in Alabama. So he could have high-fived me, and he gives me the, like, this shit's not it, brother. You know, and, like, that's kind of the reaction you get in some of these places, which it holds weight. Like, you should go do those. I'm never saying I do plenty of them. But I deal with it so much more than you'd ever believe that it's just like, it felt validating slightly to go do something on a big, big scale and successfully do it. Because I'm like, I told you, motherfuckers. I already could do the slightly bigger shit, but to go do it that big, I'm like, fucking sign me up for this tour, man. Put me on this. Let me go play as the opener for the opener. I'm not saying I'm the guy yet. I want to learn from the guy. But I don't think that I have to go cut my teeth anymore in the smoky bar for tips when I pass that point and let other people do it. If you think that's your avenue into money, I made it where I'm like, this isn't how I want to do it. A lot of people know I don't do a lot of shows. I don't do a lot of shows because, for one, I'm a nice guy and I kind of get walked on in those moments because I got to play my own advocate, and owners of bars and events love to just get you to do stuff for next to nothing. It takes a little piece of my soul every time someone does that to me because I feel like I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but I believe in it. I wouldn't be pushing it at 34 years old if I didn't. So, like, that moment for me was a sweet little kick. Like, it felt like a little jump start.
Yeah. I mean, brother, it
was no on tapping the sticks, but it was freaking dope. And speaking of on tapping the sticks, I do want to say this. Y'all mentioned last time that you guys like Uncle Laser.
Yes.
Okay, this is an idea, and I want this to be public. On tap, sponsored event, right? Get Uncle Laser to come up here anywhere. Half Dirty Prescott Kids, half Uncle Laser show. Dirty comedy, dirty music. Maybe other people can join, right? There's a podcast involved. He does the pod.
Yes.
We do the show. We tear it up, puke, rinse, repute, whatever has to happen. But that guy, I agree, you got to get him up here. And I've been thinking, like, the closest he got recently was, like, southern Wisconsin. I don't know if he got closer than that, but it's like 5 hours for me. And I was like, the people that will help me get him here where we can all do this together is y'all and me and and TikTok and the people that see this, because I think that'd be the dirtiest thing to. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be in Pine City, but
we'll have Dirty Fest.
Absolutely.
Dirty
presented
Fest.
by On Tap.
Dude, we got people that would join the shit. We need to get some people involved with these things. Like On Tap and the Sticks was sweet. If I could have had like 2 other artists kind of pushing shit as much as I did at that time to join me, that whole field would have been full. That was one of the funnest nights of my life. That's why I said, like, that was no On Tap, because that night I got treated like royalty. When I was done at Limp Bizkit, they kicked me out. When I was done, they said, get out of here. When I was done at On Tap, people were like, yeah, brother, now we party. And I drank and
How many Ronnie D and Dr. Peppers are just getting thrown at you by the time you got off stage?
I don't know.
That night was just
we
a
made
movie.
sure we served Ronnie D and Dr. Pepper.
I drank them all night specifically because you were there.
Dude, I know
I went out of my way.
This is going to make me sound like a fucking nerd loser, but I'm telling you, man, like, your moment with Fred Durst when I got to come on stage and perform, that was my first time. I've never been on a stage and looked over a crowd. And, like, I remember I took a video, and as I went across, people were like, just fucking losing it. And then when we performed, that was fucking nuts, dude. I think about it all the time.
I got absolutely roasted on my mind. So, like, you know the trailer where you and Sam did your thing, and then there was like the main stage?
Yeah.
Well, after you moved back to the main stage, I got on that trailer by myself. No one. And I was just rapping along with you the whole time, and I get down, and my sister's like, what the fuck were you just doing? Like, you look like an idiot up there. I was like, I'm drunk. I'm having a good time.
Dude,
what do you mean?
I remember I had one buddy, he had never heard of you going into it, and then you performed, and he comes up to me, he's like, I just bought 3 hats.
Yeah. That was the coolest thing about that. I obviously got the impression when I was there that, like, it's not like all these people came there, like, oh, we know who you are. They're coming out there off of like, for one, this is about to be a big ass party. Absolutely. And you guys were hyping this up to your friends in your town and using your platform to tell people, if nothing else, just know this is going to be a rager. That's all a lot of people from our area need to know, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I got a lot of people that came up to me that night, though. They were like, didn't know you. They didn't listen to none of your shit. But that was sweet. And nice to meet you. And I'm like, dude, it's cooler seeing that than, I guess not to discount it. It's cool when people come out and they do know you, but it's way cool when people are converted.
Yeah.
When you
spot.
win them
Totally.
When you win them over.
Totally.
Especially
and that
the
was kind
people
of our
that-
goal, honestly, because we knew locally that a lot of people weren't fans of yours yet, but should be and
Yeah,
would
thank
be.
you.
Yeah.
And so we're like, this is a great fit for this. Especially, it's like, it's not a full thing. It's not a commitment. You're not going to this concert of this guy that you might not have heard of, but it's going to be a massive party and it's going to be an amazing time.
It's way
So you
easier
might
to
as
talk
well
me into
go.
going to a party that I'm going to get, absolutely blitzed at than go hear someone who I don't know. But if the music's fucking sick too, it makes the night that much cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
For
it,
sure.
it does. And that guy obviously he pulled no punches on the equipment, so it was like,
Yeah.
the shit pounded.
It was fun.
It pounded.
People still talk about that first one to this day because I don't know if you know this, it got shut down at like 5 a.m. because there was noise complaints from like 4 or 5 miles away.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
We heard. I
didn't hear that,
have
but-
buddies. I remember specifically getting told that they could hear the music as clear as day at McDonald's, off like across the freeway, like
Which is, like,
miles away.
2 miles, 3 miles.
They
Yeah.
said like clear, like so clear that they could rap along with it if they wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like that you guys got something going with that. It's cool. I still love the idea of throwing your own parties, because if you're gonna have like back to like the bar show thing, I would do a show at that same bar if it's my event, because I know how I would do this. It's like these old people that have this idea of like, well, this is how we used to do it. We just give a couple dollars to a guy that can play guitar and sing cover songs, and that's enough entertainment for the people, Well, that's not how I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to get a lot of people to come for this, not just we're accidentally here.
Right.
So you got to market it for a while. You got to kind of, that cred you have with people that go, hey, I don't know, Sam's never let me down when he says it's going to be a party.
Yeah.
You got to throw that cred out there and say, this is the one you don't want to miss. And people believe you and they show up. Same shit as like the Limp Bizkit thing. When I had my only big concert in Prescott, the owner did not want to give me any like credible night, so he gave me a Sunday night.
Oh.
It's a terrible night for just getting an accidental crowd, and a terrible night to convince my mostly blue collar friends to
Yeah.
Yeah.
come. People fucking showed up, fucking from other towns. People showed up in a limo. 2 dudes from Red Wing, I'm still friends with today. They literally, like, people showed up in troves, whether they took off work or they toughed it out. And we raged so hard there on the night that you could tell was like they gave me on purpose to like set you up for failure. And these people came out because they knew it was gonna be a party. We were partying like it was 4th of July on a Sunday night. And I'll never forget that, because it just proves that like, it's like, if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
And we can make concerts bigger. You might not be able to get those Limp Bizkit numbers, but like, if we could do that same field party, but like now that we know what we're doing, I bring a couple other artists, or maybe we spend some money to get somebody, bigger than me. And, and I'm the opener, or better yet, the party afterwards or something like that when things get scummy. Those are the things that you can transcend things. You get a country artist or someone that's got a little broader. Mine slightly niches up. I don't lie to myself on that. I get that, like, it's hard to appease to the guy that's, true traditional country, and he's
Sure.
up here listening to Wisconsin.
Yep.
He likes the topics, but he's like, what the fuck?
Well, hey man, I mean, we're talking a spring event, so we can
Do
get
it.
something going here.
I hope that y'all continue what you're doing and keep thriving. It was weird to see y'all take a break. I know that you got plenty of things going on, but I was checking on
here's
you.
the things going
That's the
on.
thing. I was checking on you. I was checking out. I would check on TikTok, YouTube, and I was like, holy shit, it's been like 2 months since then, 3 months. I just started going.
Yeah.
I started
Yeah.
sending you guys messages like, what's going on? I was hoping it wasn't like over or anything like that.
Fallout.
Dude, I have a lot of faith in y'all. The podcast is energetic. It's cool. It looks good. A lot of people don't nail the video and podcast style. You guys got a lot of things going on, the skits, the events. And obviously that's why I keep coming back and joining y'all, because I like you. But y'all have helped me out a tremendous amount too, man. I see them koozies every single episode. I never stop seeing the repping and the plugs and everybody that's shouting me out.
Right up there.
People randomly run into me from Pine City and they tell me that they know about me because of y'all. That shit don't go unnoticed. So like, I if you plan an event, I want to be in it. I want to be in it, and I want to help. I can help you get a hold of other people that we need involved.
Absolutely, and that's what we need.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody. That was what that Nashville thing was. It was like, what you got, I don't got. What I got, like people helped each other with your little like where you seem to. Where you drop the ball, I'll pick up the slack, man. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah, dude. Well, you're welcome on here anytime you want to come. I mean, with that being said, thank you for coming, dude. We appreciate the hell out of it.
I appreciate it.
And
These
we're
are my
looking
favorite
forward to
episodes.
see what comes.
Dude, I know we all get talking and we talk. We probably could do like a 14-hour, like a marathon, like where we just talk forever. But it's just because the conversation's too good and y'all are easy to talk to. We probably could have filmed half the shit we were talking before this even fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
Dude, that's the tough part. You know, you got to keep off certain topics so you don't fuck them
Yeah,
up
there's a
for them.
certain threshold of when you need to go in and turn the cameras on, because it's like if we talk about that for too long, we're just gonna burn ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you ask me like, well, what you been doing, you know? And then you start telling it. It's like, that's usually podcast type material. You know, what you been doing? Well, you want me to tell you twice?
For anybody that doesn't already follow Travis, aka Dirty Prescott Kids, go find him on TikTok, YouTube, all of them, baby. Dirty Prescott Kids,
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat.
Maybe we'll say
Apple
preferably
Music,
the other
Snapchat.
one, since just in case TikTok goes, you know.
Yeah,
Go to
right.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Go subscribe
TikTok.
to his YouTube. Let's bump that thing
Yeah,
up.
let's
And
absolutely.
This year for me, if I have any closing remarks on it, I just want to say that I just recently hit a point kind of in my career here where I don't know why, but in the beginning, it was very important to prove how far I could make it by myself with the little resources that I had. I understand now more than ever the power of collaboration and that it takes way more people to like launch some shit, which is good for me. It's good for the people that listen to my music. It's good for the people that have never been contacted by me that are about to in the near future. I'm working on a lot of collaboration shit right now, and I'm open to many more ideas than I was before. So you can see a lot more music and a lot more collaborations with artists coming out, artists that you have heard of and haven't. If someone's doing dope shit, I'm in on it. So we can have a bunch more shit rolling. So this year is where you're going to start seeing those DPK features or other people on mine that,
Yes.
dude,
Hell yeah, dude.
when our resources were so limited before, and I was like, just picking and choosing when I worked with someone, and I realized now we can just be dropping bangers, and I didn't even know who these people were until I went out and started meeting them. So
if I'm not mistaken, at one point on this podcast, you did say that Yellow Wolf is your dream collaboration, right?
Yeah, I still
And
stand by that.
He's an avid listener of the podcast, Yellow.
Yeah,
He listens to every episode.
Slum for life.
Yeah.
and Kanye.
Dude,
we
and
know you're
Kanye.
listening.
I take that one.
So to
Thanks
take
for
us,
listening to On Tap with the Boys.
bastard.
Be sure to follow.
What?
I was gonna see if Travis. I was gonna see if Travis would take us out with the cheers to take it back to our first
To
episode.
take it back to the first episode.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna see if you had another cheers that you could take us out on, and if you don't, Mitch has got about 100 locked up for him.
Well, I mean, I always nailed the one that I needed to, and that's all that needed to be done. And since that one went so good, I just don't feel like I need to.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
you're right.
You put me on the spot. I hit you with my friend's one.
And it
You
was
got like
so
a million
good.
on the damn TikTok.
So good.
It was like slightly cancelable, like the way that it was said, you know. And I was like,
Well, if that
was
one's cancelable, I got one way fucking
It
dirtier.
definitely wasn't cancelable, but it's a weird one that kid said.
All right, Mitch, take us out.
All right. Here's the pillows, all dressed in lace. A cowboy and a cowgirl laid face to face. A belly full of whiskey and a mouth full of tongue. A pussy full of Peter, but I'm too drunk to come.
Cheers, Cam.
Cheers, young legend.